going on, guys? Butterbar here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all having a good day today. We are going to be continuing on the conversation about the Resident Evil showcase that they showed yesterday. And I got to say, man, I'll say this: Resident Evil Village. That was a good little preview, little showcase of showing the trailer and whatnot, and exactly what we get to expect in May when the game fully releases. But everything after that, besides the animated movie, the new Resident Evil animated movie that they showed, everything else, man, makes me question exactly what in the world is going on. So let's talk about that. First off, I will say the one thing that I'm not too against when it comes to Resident Evil kind of branching out, trying to advertise a little bit more, and anything really to grow Resident Evil, anything to bring more eyes on it, anything to bring in more players, to get more people amped up for it. I'm totally involved in, totally, for, and I want to see more of that. And this is the one thing that did not disappoint me so much, but kind of surprised me really, and did not expect this, Again, as somebody that wanted more for the 25th, they even announced the 25th anniversary of Resident Evil. Like, 25th anniversary of Resident Evil. You would think this would be a huge showcase, a big hype for a lot of different projects. So that's why I'm a little bit disappointed after the reveal of Resident Evil Village of what they showed. But I will say this, the one thing I wasn't disappointed a whole lot with was this reveal of Resident Evil kind of coming to the Division 2. So apparently in the Division 2, they are having different cosmetic items, whether it be Leon Kennedy, I think Claire, Jill, even Chris Redfield's, a lot of these uniforms and outfits and cosmetic, clothings and whatnot from the Resident Evil series is being brought over to the Division 2. And throughout a couple of weeks in the Division 2, you can unlock them. And wear them and play and whatnot. And I have to say this, I'm not disappointed by that. I think it's really cool. As somebody that actually enjoyed the Division, I really enjoy the Division's gameplay and whatnot, even though I don't play it as much, I still think it was a good game. I do love the fact that they are branching out to other games, that you're going to be advertising in other games, and hopefully we get to see more of this with other game series, and hopefully Resident Evil gets to go into more different things. But I do like that. I have to say I'm not disappointed or upset by this. I think it's a really cool thing to advertise in other games, and hopefully bring people that maybe have played, played the Division, but somehow, some way, never played Resident Evil or anything. Hopefully with these cosmetic items, they take a look at it. Hey, you know what? I'm going to go try out a Resident Evil game. Maybe I'll buy the Resident Evil 2 remake. Maybe don't buy the Resident Evil 3 remake. I don't know. You guys know my opinion. I wasn't a huge fan of Resident Evil 3 remake, but buy the Resident Evil 2 remake. You'll enjoy the horror game and hopefully get into the Resident Evil universe and get involved. But again, like I said, I think out of the showcase, that was one thing that I actually did not have a problem with and thought that was actually a pretty cool thing. All right, let's get into the one thing that just drove me up a wall and just, it brought me a lot of disappointment. Like I said, even in this announcement for the showcase of Resident Evil, showing Resident Evil Village and showing exactly what they have up in line for everything for the 25th anniversary of Resident Evil, they showed Resident Evil or RE Verse. Now, this is apparently some type of multiplayer character, main character versus character combat with iconic maps and all this stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, man, it's really goofy. If you guys watch some of the gameplay, the graphics don't really look that great. The gameplay does not look that great either. And honestly, I'm looking through a lot of the comments, and even I made a comment about this. I was just saying, I said, no Outbreak remake. Hell, I would have taken an Operation Raccoon City remake, but this, I have to say, I'm very disappointed with the route that they went with this. And I think this kind of builds off the disappointment that I had with Resident Evil 3 remake, but then also too with what they did with the Resistance. Like, I don't know exactly who's I don't really care exactly who's making the decisions over there. I'm caring more about the decisions that are being made, exactly what's being pushed down and what fans are asking for. This is nothing. I'm telling you right now, I think there are fans out there, and this is including me, that I want a multiplayer experience, but I want a more co-op type of experience. Something like, I don't know, Resident Evil Outbreak, something that's I would say probably is it 15 years old? Maybe less than that, maybe 12, 13 years old. A Resident Evil game that was made back in, I think, PlayStation 2 that had some type of multiplayer capability back then, back in the days, back in the early 2000s, where you could play with other players. Now, it was a co-op experience, but damn, man, Resident Evil Outbreak was a lot of fun. The fact they made a sequel was really cool. You had different characters, different environments, different iconic areas that you could go throughout Raccoon City, and even the laboratories underneath Raccoon City. a storyline, and I don't understand. I don't know why in the world it's something that is being asked by the community. People are not only, people are asking for, remakes here and there. I'm happy with the remake that they did in Resident Evil 2, not so much in the Resident Evil 3 game, but people are asking for Resident Evil 4 and Code Veronica. We want to see remakes to classic games that did so well for the fans. And the fact that so many people are asking for a Outbreak remake, which we have better connections with the internet. We have better multiplayer experiences with other games. This is a possibility. They could do a Outbreak remake, but for some reason have not done it. They do these things like RE Verse or Resistance that people are not asking for, and just, in my opinion, are not good co-op or even just multiplayer experiences that are just. Dude, it's just we take so many steps back, and it's just like, no, move forward, do this, and it's like, we can't get anywhere. And then also too, like I said, I would have taken an Operation Raccoon City remake. Like, honestly, I actually really did enjoy the co-op experience of Operation Raccoon City. Not so much the multiplayer, the PvP stuff, but I loved doing the environments throughout Raccoon City and seeing these iconic areas and whatnot. And the fact that they're not going down that route of being able to create a co-op experience for players, it's just kind of a big disappointment for me as somebody that's a huge fan of it. And this is actually one funny thing that I'll talk about too, is that they had this reveal of Verse. They had the Division reveal. They even had the animated movie of Resident Evil. But one funny thing that somebody brought up, for the 25th anniversary of Resident Evil, you would think that there'd be a bigger announcement or a bigger thing that would be blowing people's shorts off, that people would be super excited about. I think Resident Evil Village did that to an extent, but some people were suggesting, why not a port, like a next gen or current gen port of like the classic Resident Evil 1 or classic Resident Evil 2 and classic 3. That would be amazing. That would be so cool. Look, you already have ports of Resident Evil Code Veronica on Xbox and PlayStation and whatnot, but to be able to play the original three games of Resident Evil is not something that we can do on current gen or even next gen consoles. I don't even know if it's a plan or an idea down the line when it comes to Resident Evil. But for celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Resident Evil series, and not even having maybe even something like that's a really creative idea that really doesn't take a whole lot. Make a port for an old game to bring it to next gen and whatnot. You don't even have to do like a remastered of it. You don't have to do updated graphics. Just bring the classic of what it looked like back in the day to current gen or next gen and be able to play it on those things. I don't know, man. I thought that was a really creative idea. I thought it was a great idea. I thought it was a really cool idea of like, oh man, that would have been another amazing announcement to have for the 25th anniversary of Resident Evil. But again, we got this RE verse that nobody wanted, nobody asked for. Apparently people have been playing this in early access to get some feedback, but I'm looking at this going, who's giving their opinion about this, and what is their opinion about it? Just look at the gameplay alone. I'm questioning everything that is happening right now with the Resident Evil series if we're going down this route. Resistance was not that great. RE Verse, I don't know what the hell this is going to do for the RE universe and bringing fans into a multiplayer experience, but I'm going to say it right now, man, this ain't it. This ain't it. People I think are wanting remakes to these classic, solo games, whether it being Code Veronica, Resident Evil 4. I mean, even going back to Resident Evil 5, that was a really cool co-op experience. Yeah, they had a PvP thing that I don't know how many people played, but I mean, even then with Resident Evil 5, that was a cool multiplayer experience that I think people are wanting to experience this game with, not only being able to play by themselves, but also play with their friends that enjoy the Resident Evil series. And I think Outbreak was a good way of being able to, bring a 4-player co-op experience that people could play in a universe that they love and a franchise they love. But apparently we're not going to be getting that. And even, like I said, I would have taken Operation Raccoon City. I really would have. There might be some people against that, but damn it, compared to RE Verse, I would have taken Operation Raccoon City for that. But then also, too, I would have loved this idea of bringing in the classic 3 games from the 90s into current gen or next gen and seeing, just playing the old classic games. So, I don't know, guys. I at least just wanted to give you guys my opinion about it. I thought the Resident Evil Village thing was a cool reveal, but afterwards with that, maybe besides the movie and the Division announcement, I really do think it was just kind of a disappointment. That was just my personal opinion. I think it was a disappointment, but I would love to know from you guys, what did you guys think about it? If you guys watched the RE Showcase reveal of everything, let me know in the comments below. What did you guys think about everything past RE Village, and let me know in the comments below what you guys think. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please have a great rest of the day, and I look forward to talking to you guys all next time. Get them guns, man! All right, bye, guys.